Okay, welcome to Design Experts. This is our first of our series of webinars about Business Catalyst. I call it the Business Catalyst Masterclass, and we're doing the first webinar. It's called Business Catalyst Overview 101. For those that haven't met me before, my name's Tim Gentle. I'm the captain of this ship over here at Design Experts, and I've thoroughly enjoyed developing websites for over 8 years. I have a bit of a marketing background, and I thoroughly enjoy regional Australia for those that are joining us regionally at the moment. So let's have a little look at what we're going to be learning today. So the first topic we're going to be looking at is what is Business Catalyst? And then after that, we're going to be looking at the benefits of Business Catalyst. From there, we're going to be looking at how DE, Design Experts, works with Business Catalyst. We're going to be logging in to our website administration panel. I'm going to give you a quick overview of the dashboard. So what is the dashboard? How does it work? We're going to have a quick little look at reports. So we can generate reports from Business Catalyst. What are they and how do we do it? From there, we're going to be talking about BC training. We've got a customer care centre, but there's some other options as well. And the final topic of today is going to be help and support. So how we can provide some help and support to help you drive your business further. Now, I'm fairly relaxed when I do my presentations. I feel like I'm talking directly to you. I don't mind being interrupted. These things aren't going on TV. They're designed for you. I do record them so you can go back and watch them. If you happen to be trying to take some notes, well, by all means. If not, don't worry, because you can go back and watch the recording until you get it right. Okay, we'll move on to the first topic now, and it's called What is Business Catalyst? Well, Business Catalyst is an all-in-one online solution. So Business Catalyst is the software program that Design Experts uses to develop your all-in-one solution. In fact, some people box it in as a content management system. See, these things are known as CMS. Now, a content management system allows you to manage your online content. So in one respect, Business Catalyst is a content management system, but it's a lot more than that. And that's why I don't like it to be pigeonholed into just being a CMS. It's got an array of things over and above just managing the content of your website. Now, it's owned and developed by Adobe. So those that know Adobe, you may be using, say, Acrobat Reader for PDFs. Some of you may even be using Photoshop or InDesign or Dreamweaver. So Adobe acquired Business Catalyst, I think in around about 2009, 2010. In fact, it was a Sydney-based company that started Design Experts, and we were using it before Adobe acquired it. So we've been using Business Catalyst since 2008, and it's just a wonderful product, and it's one that we use quite regularly here at DE. Now, you can always check out businesscatalyst.com. It's the website for the software program of your website. So when we build a website, we need to develop it in a software language. Now, we can do it in WordPress or Joomla or Drupal. These are some other CMS or languages that people use. But the most common one we use here is Business Catalyst, and you can always check out businesscatalyst.com. Let's do that. So I brought up the website here. Whoops, I'm on the support page. I'll just go back to the home page. Here we go. And so you can go to businesscatalyst.com and you can scroll through and you can learn a lot more about the product. In fact, Design Experts is quite often featured on the front page of Business Catalyst. We're one of the largest Business Catalyst developers in the world, and there's a bit of a story there if you're interested in reading our story about us and BC. But there's some great things here, and you're always welcome to go in and have a look at BC directly. All right, I'll pop back to the presentation. Okay, so the next one is the benefits of Business Catalyst. So why would you want to use Business Catalyst? In fact, why do we want to use Business Catalyst here at DE? Well, first of all, let's put it back onto your shoulders. We're always making sure that our clients are happy, and we want to make sure that it's easy for them to manage. When I had a look at a lot of content management systems before we adopted BC, I had a look around and I found Business Catalyst really easy to use from a client's point of view. Now, over the next 3 months and over the webinar series, I'll be taking you through how to use BC, and it'll become even easier for you to use once you've got some training. But even just for a layman, just logging in and updating a page, it's quite simple. Now, it gives you the control. You don't have to contact DE to say, hey, can you change this picture in my gallery, or can you update this menu on my menu page? It's quite a good product to give you some control. Now, you can start off small in BC. We have many different plans. In fact, I think it's around 6 different plans we have with Business Catalyst. And so you can start off in the ground level. I think that's $29 a month. And then from there we can build and we can build and we can build. And as we introduce more modules into your solution, as your business grows and demands more online usage, then we can grow the Business Catalyst solution to suit you. Now, it's an all-in-one solution. I've mentioned that a couple of times now, but what does that mean? Well, for you, it means that you don't actually have to go outside of Business Catalyst too much to find bits of software to drive your business online. So, for example, some software programs are just content management systems, meaning you can just update your website. What if you want to send out an email newsletter? What if you want to blog? Or what if you want to be able to sell online? Some of these things that we want to be able to do, BC has it all in one, under the one hood. Whereas some other solutions, we have to look for what's known as plugins. We have to find, another software program outside of your website to plug in, and hopefully it all works, but quite often that's where the problem lies. Now, it's updated regularly by Adobe. So what does that mean? So with the software program, for some of you that have subscribed to, say, Microsoft 365, which is the Office of the 2014-15 sort of era, what you're doing is you're subscribing to Word, Excel, Outlook, and Microsoft are continually developing it, making it better. So that's the same as Business Catalyst. See, in a way, your Business Catalyst solution becomes better and better and better because you're subscribing to Business Catalyst. And so we put the onus back on BC or Adobe to continually develop that for you. So that's what I like about it too. See, some websites, you get them developed, then 3 months, 6 months, 12 months later, the software program hasn't made any steps forward. It's the same as what it was 12 months ago. And the web moves so quickly that suddenly your website becomes outdated. Now, the alternative is you can continually get someone to update your software, but that'll cost you. With Adobe and with Business Catalyst, it's continually updated as part of your subscription. So I kind of like that. Now, it's hosted on secure data centers across the globe. There's 3, in fact, one in the US, one in Asia, and one in Europe. And in fact, the one in Asia is hosted in Sydney. So when we develop a website, more than often or not, we put it onto the data center, the host, the web server, sitting in a data center, our level 1 data center in Sydney. So that's quite good. You know that your, your software and your website is secure, and that it's going to have minimal downtime, and it's going to be secure from hackers and things like that. All right, so how does DE work with BC? Well, DE architects the solution with you. Now, what does that mean? Well, most of you, if you've met me or you've met one of the account managers or sales team, they've come out, they've sat with you, and they've developed, your floor plan, your site map, your strategy with you. So Design Experts takes responsibility for that, designing the strategy. And then from there, we develop the look and feel. So we develop what it's going to look like. Now we have templates that are already pre-built, but we do a lot of customized design as well. So our designer will sit there almost like a painter would with a canvas and start to design the look and feel of your website based on the sitemap. After that, DE overlays the design onto the Business Catalyst software. So it's almost like a skin. You know, we kind of wrap up the present in one respect. So we design it, and then we overlay that design onto the BC software. And so that's where BC kicks in, because BC will develop and maintain the software. So if we start from the top, we have like architects and salespeople that design the strategy. We have designers that design the look and feel, and we have developers that integrate that design into the software. And then Business Catalyst, or Adobe, they take over from there. They kind of manage the software moving forward. Of course, you know, we continue to work with you one-on-one, but in the background, we've kind of got these programmers nurturing the software.
I followed his link.
Now, as I've mentioned before, Design Experts is one of the largest Business Catalyst providers in the world. In fact, I went over to Adobe Max and I got to meet all the Adobe team. I've been to San Francisco into the Adobe headquarters and spoken to the Business Catalyst team. So we really are up with you know, the best developers in the world. I'm really, really proud of that. All right, so now we're going to jump out of the PowerPoint. In fact, I'm using Google Presentation. It's one of the Google apps we use here at Design Experts. It looks like PowerPoint. I'm going to be jumping out of this now, and we're going to be jumping into Business Catalyst. I'm going to be showing you how to log into your administration. I'm going to be talking about administration users. Who are they and what are they? And what if you lose your password? Geez, we get a lot of calls for that one. So I'm going to show you how to fetch your password if you get into any trouble. So let's get started. So timgentle.com, this is a website that's been going for years actually. I've had this way before Design Experts, and I've developed this on Business Catalyst. So as we mentioned, it's got a skin and you're looking at the skin. It's called the UI, or the user interface. Now what I do is I copy, Control-C, I'm just copying the domain name here, everyone. And I'm opening up another tab. Just bring that across. I like to have the two tabs next to each other. I'm going to be pasting it again, but this time I'm going to be typing in admin. I'm typing in /admin. And when I do that, it goes into, I guess, the login area of Business Catalyst. Now you'll be provided, or you're already well and truly past this point, and I apologise for those that are, but for those that are just starting out, and there are some in the room, you'll have a username and password. So here's my username. I've got a couple for this site, and my password. So before I jump in, I'll just quickly show you how to retrieve a lost password. It's right in front of us, so we may as well nail that while we're here. So there it is there. So if you do happen to lose your administration password, rather than, I guess, lodge a support ticket, you could almost self-help. Now, when you have lost your password, it will email the password to you. So quite often we have the problem where someone's Hotmail is no longer, or they've moved on from Big Pond, or that they're a past employee. You know, so we understand that you all can't just use this function. But there it is there if you need it. I'm going to log in now, and we're going to be going to the next point, which is known as the dashboard. So welcome to behind the scenes of timgentle.com. Look, it's not a massive traffic driving site. I don't really push it that much, to be honest. But at the moment, we're in the dashboard. And that's the next topic that I'm going to be covering. I'll just go over the topics just so we're all on the same page. Here we go. I was going to talk about administration users, won't I? Yeah. I will talk about that, and I'll come back to this. So I'm in the back of the website, and so I'm an administration user for this site. If we go down to site settings, and we click on admin users, which is right here, I'll zoom in a bit so you can see it, you can have up to 3 admin users for your website. So part of your package means that you can have yourself, I guess reception, and you may want to have, say, someone in marketing. So you can invite other administration users as long as you are an administrator yourself. Now, in one of the last webinars that I'm running, I'm going to be going into different roles. This is the different roles people can have, and you can take away and add different responsibilities. So you can have things like administrator, users, marketing, sales, and so forth. So I won't do that today, but just understand that you can have more than one administration user. The only reason why you might need more than one is if multiple people are logging in at the same time, or if you want to actually track when people are logging in, because you can actually find that out. So you can see here that I have 2 administrations for myself, and there's quite a few others. At Design Experts, we can have more than 3 because we've got developers and things working on your site for you. All right, we'll jump back to the presentation unless anyone else has got any questions. I'll just monitor that and see if there's anything in there. No one's raised their hand, which is great, and I'll just go into the next section. All right, we're going to be going into the dashboard. Okay, so I want to quickly talk about the dashboard. I didn't have that in my presentation, so let's just do an overview of that. Okay, I'm going to click on dashboard. Now I'm zoomed in a little bit. I just use the control and minus key if those that are interested in knowing that little trick. Control plus will bring it forward, control minus will make it smaller. Sometimes it's a little hard to see when you're sitting there on a little laptop, so I like to zoom in a little bit. Okay, I can see here that I've had 530 unique visits this week. So that's not bad. So we've had 500 people land on timgentle.com over the last week, which is great. Now if we come down here, we can see a live feed. Now those that are on the, I guess the entry-level plan, it's the $29 plan we have here at DE, you won't have this. But those that are on the $59 plan and above, you will. So I can see here that Nicolette and is it Germana or Germana, both have submitted an inquiry form. And in this respect, they've just signed up to my e-news. So when I programmed this site, I think we did it a couple of years ago, the e-news on the front page, which I'll just quickly show you. So if I scroll down, whereabouts is follow. I'll just see if I can find it. Contact. Where are they subscribing? Where are you subscribing? There we go, up the top. I should even know my own website. So when someone fills this form out, let's just do it now. John Smith. Thanks, John. Glad to have you on board. john@smith.com.au. When John fills this form out and clicks submit, this is then activating the live feed. Let's jump back in the back. I'm going back into the dashboard and I'm clicking refresh so I can download the latest copy. So we can see here, if we zoom in, that in the live feed, John appears and he's signed up to the e-news. So that's how the live feed works, and it's on your dashboard. The other thing I like about the dashboard is you can see here that one person has made an inquiry. So anyone who fills out a form on your website, anyone who subscribes to a newsletter, signs your blog, whatever you've got going on your website, it'll appear here. Now if you're running events, you'll have people that sign up events. If you're selling online, you'll have the dollar value. If you've got a secure login, say someone's logging in like a staff member to your staff-only zone of your website, you'll see how many logins you get a week. So timgentle.com isn't that active. A lot of you will have online stores, you'll be running email marketing, and this dashboard will be a lot more active than what you're seeing here. But of course, I can't really log into a client's website and show you, so that's why I'm opening the doors to behind the scenes of timgentle.com. Now, running down the left-hand side here, these are going to be where we're heading over the next 3 months. In fact, the next topic we're going to be covering is Site Manager. So there's some really good stuff in here. We're going to be learning how to drive pages and how to update things. And then I believe after that, we're going to be talking about blogs and galleries and talking about modules. From there, I think we're talking about the the customer relationship management tool. This is the database that holds all your customer information. Then we go into email marketing, where we start talking about how to send out email marketing campaigns. And then we jump into e-commerce, about selling online and how to add products and set up catalogs. And then I think we kind of finish on more advanced settings. You know, we sort of head down into this site settings and we get our hands dirty into this section. So what you're looking at here is the dashboard of our $79 plan. This is it's called the web commerce package. So those that are on the $59 plan, you won't have things like e-commerce or web apps. So stick with us over the next 3 months, because even if you're on the $29 plan, you could maybe understand, well, okay, well, why should I upgrade? You know, what's in there? You know, do I need modules? Oh, right, so I can have an event calendar, can I? And so forth. So stick with us over the next 3 months. I trust that I'll take you through each section. For those that are using the online store, well, you'll love every moment of it, because you're probably using all of these modules. Now, over on the right-hand side here, you'll see some announcements. So you can see here that on the 11th of January, we made an announcement to let you know that we had some free website training courses. And we release, announcements randomly throughout the year. So keep an eye on that. That'll either come from us or come directly from Adobe themselves. And the final thing I'll show you is user stats. This is the dashboard still. And you can see here how much disk space I've got left, how much bandwidth I've got, how many users I've got remaining, how many email addresses I can still have, and newsletter. So that's really the dashboard. The only final little tip that I occasionally show people is this plus and minus sign here on the right-hand side. If you want to have a look at the last month, you can go minus, minus, and you can see here that I'm having a look over a longer period of time. So that's kind of cool. It's a quick little view. It's a bit like driving a car. It gives you a snapshot about what's happening. Okay, down on the right-hand side here, we've got what's called reports. And reports is the next section that I wanted to talk about when it comes to Business Catalyst. Now, I could spend hours in here, and you could too, because what this does is provide you some insight into how your website's performing. So what I'll do is I'll click on Visitors, and I'm going to let it generate the report for me. Be patient, because occasionally it's looking up 12 months of data. Sometimes it's even looking up, 3 months, 1 week. It depends on what you've selected. Now, you can see what I've selected here. I've selected the last month. So what I'm looking at here is the last month of data. So I just close this and close that. So if I want to have a look at the last week, I can. If I want to have a look at the last year, I can, or set a date range. Let's leave it on the 1 month purely for the webinar, and let's get our head around what we're looking at. So really all we're looking at is an enhanced report, a bit like what you saw in the dashboard. So here are visits versus page views. Over here we've got all these visitors from around the world. That's kind of cool to look at, to see where they're logging in. And we can see new versus return. What's really, really interesting with my website is that I don't have many return visitors, and nor do I really encourage that. I don't have a website that really people have to keep coming back to get updates or to buy from the store. But some of you will have a much, much bigger percentage of returning visitors, because you'll be servicing your customers, and they'll be coming back to your site to either read your news, look at events, or buy from your store. Now we'll move our way along the top. I'm not going to really go into too much detail, but let's have a little look at the geographic location. So I can see here that United States is getting the most hits, and that's probably because I have a timgentle.com, not a .au, but we get a lot of hits from the States. But I can go down into Australia and I can click on View. Now what you can also find out is the various locations. So it's kind of cool to see that Melbourne's getting a lot, then Sydney, but also let's have a little look at who else is looking at your site. So it brings up the suburbs. There we go, Safety Beach. I've got a good friend down there, and people in Richmond and Mulgrave, and there's quite a few looking at Mildura and so forth. So those that are interested in knowing the location of their visitors, you can go in via the geographic location. Look, you just have to treat it a little bit, be a bit generous with it. It's not exactly, accurate. I give it about an 80% rule. It's actually, for the techies in the room today, it's looking up the IP address of the computer, and if that isn't networked or linked into a specific location, for example, someone in Bendigo could be looking at the site, but it might come up as Melbourne. But it gives you a good rule of thumb to have a bit of a look. Now let's have a little look at traffic sources. Traffic sources is telling, okay, well, where are people coming from? What is the source of the website traffic? Are they coming from your Facebook page? Are they coming from Google? Are they coming from your Yellow Pages ad? So what we can see here is a quick little snapshot of the various different traffic sources that are, I guess, sending people to timgentle.com. What you can do is you can just have a look here, or you can work your way along the top. So if I click on traffic sources, this will tell me how many people are referral, how many people are direct, and how many people are from search engines. So what's the difference? So a referral is a link from another website, a bit like they've been referred to you. Direct is when they've typed it in directly or they have it in your favorites. And search engine is where they've typed in a keyword or your name into a search engine and they've come to your site. Now, for those that are getting a little bit excited about these stats, I do too in a way, you can export them. So you can export them as an Excel spreadsheet and you can provide them to a board of management and so forth. We also install Google Analytics on your site. So a lot of this, what you're looking at now, is also available in Google Analytics, which is another form of, I guess, website statistics. Now let's have a look at referrals. Referrals are the sites that people are sending to. So I just wanted to have a little look here. Interesting, we've had quite a few come from Think.Digital, Digital Navigator, and because Tim Gentle is a bit random, unfortunately I can't really use this website as a good benchmark for you, but we've had 2 people come from Design Experts, one's come from Facebook, one's even come from Poultry Princess, which is a chicken breeding business that I used to do prior to DE. It's still up and running. We love the old Poultry Princess. I'm just going to quickly jump to the panel to see if I've got any questions or arms raised. Occasionally I get some questions at this point. Okay, good. I'll keep travelling along. So search phrases. Now look, search phrases, it's a complex topic and one that I will be covering in detail over the year. But what are the search terms that people are using in Google? And then as a result, your website gets listed in the search results. And then the person has clicked that result and come to your site. Now, I don't know what to expect here because it's not going to be great. But at the same time, again, your websites are going to be a lot more richer than mine. You can see here that someone in the last month has typed in Tim Gentle and come to the website as a result. What are the icons used in Erasmus? So someone's typed that in Google and have come to my site as a result. Again, please go in here and check on it yourself. So I've gone into reports, traffic sources, and then I clicked on search phrases. Now I need you to be aware of this. If someone is logged into their Chrome browser, I'm logged into my Chrome browser right now. Unfortunately, we cannot obtain the search terms that people are using when they're searching in Google. So that's what Google's done, guys. They've kind of taken away that really, really rich information that we want. As a website owner, we want to know those keywords that are driving people to our site. Well, unfortunately, we can't get them. And so really, although I'm showing you this now, it's not a great indication of what's really driving traffic to your site. And those that have done some courses with me on Google Analytics, I go into some great detail here to show you how many, I guess, cloaked or how many keywords we just don't know what they are. In fact, it's normally around about 90% of the keywords that are driving traffic to our site we can't get. Now, we can get them in other ways. We can start off with a Google AdWords campaign, which gives us a little bit more access to information. But yeah, geez, it's really tough out there, and understandably, Google want to hold on to those words. That's where the gold is. All right, there's a lot more here. I'm just going to do one more, website content. I'm just going to answer a quick question here. I've got Andrew in the room. So Andrew, before I continue on with website content, over to you. Go ahead, Andrew. You had your hand raised.
Yeah, I was just asking if it's just Google Chrome that hides the keywords.
It's a great question. I don't know the answer to that one, Andrew. I believe if you're probably logged into your Google identity, regardless of the browser, so if you're in Firefox or Internet Explorer, it probably does the same thing. So yeah, very, very good question. But yeah, very frustrating at the same time, not able to get those keywords. You agree?
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, thanks for your question. Great question. All right, so now going back to the website content, I'm still in reports. What this does is it tells you what your most popular pages are. It tells you where people are entering your website. So not all people come via your homepage. They might come via your services page or via your blog. So it's going to tell you your top entry pages. It's also going to be telling you what page they left your site. So that's kind of cool. You can click on pages and you can have a little look at that. And what I like about it is it'll tell you what pages are your most popular. Let's have a little look here. I think I've clicked on something wrong. Website, custom reports. I thought it was that one. It's not web form, e-commerce, custom reports, website content. I wanted to know, I'm just going to see if I can nail this in 10 seconds. So what I'm going to do here is, this is telling me what my most popular web pages are. I get that. I can come in here and I can say, okay, well, what is my most popular media download? I get that. So if I have a menu on my site, or if I have, some downloads, but I actually wanted to find out exactly what they were. So I'm just going to go in traffic sources. No. There is one that tells you, it's really quite good. I'll have a look here. No, website content. Must be this one. And I'll click on View All. I think I have to click on View All here, everyone. So I'm going to do that. What I'm looking for, yeah, this is the one. Perfect. So just to let you know how I got there, I clicked on Reports. Then I went to Website Content. And then I clicked on View All on Web Pages. What this is giving me is it's telling me my most popular pages. I think that's really important to know. So you can see here that the home page is the most popular. But this one here, this is a blog article, and it gets a lot of hits. And you can just work your way down the list. So that's kind of cool. Again, you can export that, and you can give it as an Excel spreadsheet or PDF. But that'll tell you what pages are working the hardest for you. All right, moving along now, I'm going to be jumping out of reports unless I have any questions. I know that there's some other stuff here and I want to hold off on these, but has anyone got any other questions in regards to reports? All right, we've got another question here. I'll just address that one on the spot. Fire it away, Andrew. Andrew, did you have another question or just didn't put your hand down? I'll assume you haven't put your hand down. I've just had a question here in the question area. Thanks for typing that one out, Tina. The answer is accessing your Google Analytics. So yes, you can access your Google Analytics if you want to. So we can provide you access to your analytics, which will give you the same sort of results. In fact, I actually prefer Google Analytics over these. So by all means, send in a request to your account manager and we'll gain access to your Google Analytics. You can go in there and data mine the analytics. We also can set up a monthly report for you. So in Google Analytics, we can set up a monthly report that sends you, how many people have been on your site, what they looked at, how long they stayed, what keywords they used, if we can get them. So ask your account manager to set you up with your Google Analytics access if you want it. If not, some of you might just want a monthly report. That's quite common. And also with Business Catalyst, you get your weekly reports. So those that are running Business Catalyst, which most of you in the room today are, you should be getting a weekly report sent to you. So if you're not getting that weekly admin report, also please contact your account manager and get that, because that's a very valuable account. Can I just have a show of hands, actually? Let's do a quick poll. I just wanted to know, show of hands in who actually gets their weekly report. So if you could just go over and raise your hand, I just want to have a quick little look at that and see how many people are getting that. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, okay. It's about 50% of you. All right, so those that didn't raise your hand, I highly recommend that you get in contact with your account manager and get them to set up your weekly report, because that'll give you a quick little snapshot. Oops. Okay, here we go. All right, back to the presentation now. Chugging along quite nicely. All right, we're up to what's called BC training. And I guess those that are in the webinar today value the idea of knowing how to, what I call, change the spark plugs. And what I can offer is quite a lot when it comes to training. The first thing I wanted to introduce you to is the Customer Care Centre. Sounds so lovely, doesn't it? It's known as the CCC. And look, it's an initiative that we took up a couple of years ago, and it's a resource that you have as a as a design expert's customer. So let's go and have a quick little look at that. Let's have a look at the CCC. All right, what you need to do is you need to go onto the Design Experts website. I'm going onto the DE website now. Now, if you scroll down to the bottom, I don't know why it's so hidden, but anyway, it's there. If you click on Customer Care Centre down the bottom here, when you click on that, I might already be logged in. Yeah, I'll log out quickly. It'll take you to this look. Now, if you don't have a username and password for the Client Care Centre, Client Communication Centre, see, that's what it's called. I thought it was called the Client Care Centre. I might even change it. Anyway, the Client Communication Centre, it's a different login to your website administration login, all right? So it's completely different to your BC login. So you'll need to get one, is what I'm saying. So I've got one. I'm going to log into it now and show you behind the scenes. So I'm logging in to the CCC, the Client Communication Centre. Might change that name. And what we've got here is some video tutorials. When you click on Go Learn, these are pre-recorded Business Catalyst videos. All right, so some go for a minute, some go for 3 minutes. They don't go for that long. But if you wanted to know, for example, how to log into your administration console, I know I covered that in the webinar, but it's here. Overview of the dashboard. I know I covered it, but it's here. What I'm not covering today is updating your account details. So you might want to log in and view that one. And then as you become more efficient, how to edit your content, how to add images, how to format tables, how to do a link to an email address. And so there's some great videos in here that you can click on
to
And
your
watch.
email address on one of your web pages is a very straightforward process. After you've navigated to the content that you're linking, select it, then click on the Hyperlink Manager icon.
There you go. So that just gives you an insight into the CCC, the Customer Care Centre. I'm going to call it that, I reckon. Back to the presentation. All right, the next one is webinars. So we're talking about how to get some more BC training. You're in it now, which is wonderful. You may be watching the pre-recording. I'll be running webinars throughout the year on all sorts of topics, not just about business catalysts, but obviously those that want to drive the ship and learn how to do BC are here today. Now, there's also some one-on-one training that you can get. So design experts provide one-on-one training. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. We'll screen share. You'll be able to see our computer, or we can see your computer, depending on where you're at. And we'll be coaching you through your own website. Now, they're currently priced at $150, and that goes for 1 hour. And they're recorded. So we have the session, we record it, and then we provide you with the video file. So what better way to know? You might not want to sit through all these webinars. You might just want to pay your $150 and have a one-on-one lesson about how to do your own website. Your call, they're available. Get in contact with your account manager if you want to book one in. Now, I also found a link. It's a little bit old, but at the same time, it's a great link for you to use if you're interested. This will take you to, I'll see if I can I copy this out of here? No, can't. So if I go to kbworldsecuresystems.com.au, let's just do it now just so you can see it. It might even be in the memory of the computer. KB, beautiful. There it is. So what is this? This is the, I guess, the Business Catalyst training videos. So these are videos available to you. They're quite generic. Again, here's another resource. You can also, though, what I quite like is if you're not kind of into videos, you can go into browse by topic. So if you wanted to learn a little bit more about your photo galleries, you could click on photo galleries, and then there's a step-by-step tutorial on how to do your photo gallery. Why didn't that go in? What happened there? Add a photo gallery. No, I don't want to. Oh, that'll do. So here is a step-by-step. Some people prefer this method. All right. So it'll take you through how to add a photo gallery if you wanted to do that. If not, just get us to do it and we can train you to update it. So that is available to you at, I'll just go right to the main heading, kbworldsecuresystems.com.au, and there's a whole heap of stuff there for you if you need it. All right, and the last one, you might have snuck a bit of a preview at that, was just to give us a call. At the end of the day, you can call design experts on 1300 85 25 82 and ask a question. If we can't help you over the phone, if we find that it's a bit more of a support call, or if it's a bit more of a, okay, look, sounds like you need some training, we'll let you know. But if we can help you in a couple of minutes, we'll certainly help you over the phone like that. All right, we're coming to the end of the webinar. I hope this has been of benefit for you, but I'm just going to quickly help you out with a little bit more, I guess, tools of the trade. So at Design Experts, we encourage you to submit a support ticket. We have over 1,000 websites we look after, and that's a lot of people. So you could imagine how many phone calls and how many emails we get a day. And in one respect, we're asking you to respect that, but also we're asking you to follow the system. And the system is simply this. You can lodge a support ticket, and it's a bit like getting in the taxi rank, where you can't sort of jump the queue all the time. Of course, you're welcome to call us and we'll do what we can. But those that lodge a support ticket, they join the taxi rank, and the support team then move through those support tickets a couple of times a day. Let's have a look at how we can submit a support ticket. So again, you go onto the Design Experts website. Let's see if I can get back to the home page. Bang. Now the great thing about this is it's the biggest call to action in the top right-hand corner, Help Desk. So all you have to do is click on this little puppy up here in the top right-hand corner. When you click on that, It takes you to Zendesk. You don't really need to know that. Zendesk is a program that we use to manage our support tickets. And you just submit a support request. So we encourage you to put your email. Come on, Tim. We encourage you to put a subject. My page has been deleted. Help me. Put in your domain name. This is your web address. And then a description. Okay, a description of your of what your problem is. So I am having the following issue, etc., etc., etc. Now, for those that are a little bit more advanced, we encourage you to take a screenshot and attach that as well. That does help. Some people even attach a video file, which is kind of cool. So we appreciate those out there that are doing that. But at the end of the day, you've got the following option here to submit a support ticket. For those that don't know how to do a screenshot, if you're on a PC, top right-hand corner-ish on your website is normally a button called Print Screen. And when you print that, when you click on that button, it takes a screenshot of your website or your issue. You then have to paste that, I guess, into a Word, or you need to paste it into, say, a photo program. Some people put it into, what's that program that they do, a picture, or Paint, and so forth. So it's a little bit hard. Those that don't have the skills, we don't expect it, but some people know how to do it, and that's kind of cool. All right, how else can you get some help? I just want to make sure we haven't got any more questions. I've just got to keep an eye on that. Cool. Okay, moving forward. Now, you can email us. So the other way you can do is, if you're not going to do a support ticket, you can email support@designexperts.com.au. And I believe that actually goes straight into Zendesk anyway. And you're given a support ticket reference number. So it doesn't matter which way you do it. We'd probably prefer you to submit a support ticket, but if you email support@designexperts.com.au, that also joins the same taxi rank, to use that analogy. You can always give us a call, so 1300 85 25 82. Again, if you've just submitted a support ticket and then you call us 2 minutes later and say, hey, I've just submitted a support ticket, doesn't overly work well. We kind of prefer you just to let us nurture the support tickets and move our way forward. But look, if it's really urgent, yeah, of course, give us a call, no problem. And you can go in and get some help and support on that worldsecuresystems.com website that I showed you earlier. So that brings us to the end of today's topic, which was really just a quick overview about Business Catalyst. Some of you might not have even known that your website was developed in Business Catalyst, so welcome on board the BC family. For those that are looking at using Design Experts, I think there's a couple of you in the room today. We encourage you to come on board, and we'll develop your website in Business Catalyst if you want to. Those that are currently customers and are using Business Catalyst, I hope that's given you some insight into, I guess, a little bit of an overview. Don't worry, we roll up our sleeves in the next topic. Let's have a look at it. So in the next topic, it's called Editing Your Website as Easy as Pie. And so I'm going to be taking you through how to edit your page, how to add a link, add a heading. I think I'm even going to be showing you how to insert a picture on a page. So for those that haven't registered, I thoroughly encourage you to do so. So let's just have a quick little look at how you can register. You just go to designexperts.com.au, Business Catalyst Masterclass. It's also under, I believe, Web Business Catalyst Masterclass as well. It goes to the same thing. So down here on the 28th of January is the next one I'll be running on this particular topic, editing your website as easy as pie. Look, we're even talking about menu items, which is great. Knowing how to drive the menu of your site can be quite handy. So I encourage you to register. I'll be hosting the webinar. I hope today has been of benefit. I always like to leave about 10 minutes of question time. I don't really see there being that many questions today due to the topic, but now I'm going to be opening up for questions in terms of the audience out there. So let's just see who's around, and we've got a few questions here. So I'll just put it back to here, and I will now go to, let's start off with, we'll go with Andrew. This is Andrew. So fire it away. You know who you are. They've got about 3 Andrews in the room today. Fire away.
Just regarding the reports, when it comes to the hits, I noticed there's a bit of a delay between SEO and PPC when it comes to analytics, but I don't know, is there a delay when it comes to the actual PC reports? And if so, how long is it roughly?
Damn, you might have me on that one. So, so the question that you're asking is, when I'm in the back of here and I'm looking at visitors, which you're referring to as heads, are you?
As hits, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so how many visits, and you wanted to know, okay, is it 24 hours delay in terms of how many people have been on my site?
Yeah.
Is that kind of where you're heading with that question?
Yeah, just what's the delay? Because I know it's different between PPC and SEO when it comes to analytics. I know it's a bit short. It comes through quicker on PPC, but not so much 24 hours on analytics, but I don't know what it is for the PC reports.
Yeah, sorry, what did you think it was for analytics? I might learn a bit here.
I've noticed it's 24 hours when it comes to SEO, but PPC can sometimes sneak through at about 12 hours.
Yeah, well, there you go. Andrew, look, I'm going to say you've trumped me there. I don't know the answer in terms of the time lag when it comes to how long. Look, I think we just better go with a bit of an 80-20 rule here. My gut feel, and probably yours too, is there's about a 24-hour lag as well, I reckon.
Okay.
I might find that question out, but that's a good one. So you're monitoring your website that close, are you?
Yeah, we'd like to keep up to date with it.
Yeah, you're doing really well if you're looking at it that often. So, Andrew, I'll find out time lag on well, let's just call it on visits. You refer to them as heads on BC stats. Do you notice also, if you're writing to your analytics, do you also notice that there's a difference between Business Catalyst and design and Google Analytics?
Yeah, there is, but I think it's mainly because I look at this. Notice BC seems to go with views more so than actual hits. I think it's really going on along page views, whereas analytics is very based, very clear on sessions and not so much pages.
I actually also think because Google Analytics, it cleanses the bots out.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Well done. Okay. Well, thanks, Andrew, for your question. Hope you enjoyed today's session. We look forward to you joining us in future sessions. All right. I just want to see if there's any more verbal questions. So there isn't. There's a couple here in the room. So I'll just quickly go to those. Trying to make this thing work a bit better for me. All right. I'll just attend to these questions, guys, and then I'll wrap it up. I'd like to wrap up at 2 o'clock. All right, so a couple of people actually have asked this question. So the first thing is, how do we access the recording of this webinar, and obviously future webinars as well would probably be the case. I think actually what happens is it emails you the recording when it says, hey, thanks for attending, give us some feedback. But if it doesn't do that, I'm going to be hosting them on the Design Experts website. So just ask your account manager in terms of that. It makes sense to put them into the customer care center. I'm also going to be putting them up onto YouTube as well and providing a private link. So there's lots of different ways on how to get to them, but those that have attended the webinar, you'll be sent a link to go view them. If you haven't attended the webinar, then the way that you'll access them is most likely through the customer care center. I will be hosting them on YouTube, but providing a private link to Design Experts clients. So hopefully that answers your question. All right, Andrew, in terms of Andrew too, Andrew, you might want to put your hand down unless you've got another question. Other than that, I thank you for your time. I hope that it's been a great, I guess, step forward for you in terms of your BC knowledge. And from this point in time, it's the captain out, and I look forward to speaking to you on the 28th of January at, let's have a look here, at 1 o'clock. Thanks, guys. Catch you later on.